Some people move house. Well, we've been moving warehouse. Look at the size of this place. This is just one of the units on this 90,000 square foot campus that we've just bought. We had lots of little warehouses. It was getting really complicated, moving stuff from here to there. We were losing stock. We couldn't keep track of everything. This has made things so much more efficient. Now, I'm going to break this all down for you on why and how we bought it in a video that's going to come out in a few weeks' time. But in this video, I'm going to break down everything like a day in the life of an entrepreneur. But it could be more like a few weeks in the life of an entrepreneur. I've had some really stressful, challenging things to deal with over the last month, and I want to break it all down for you to help grow your business. All right, let's do it. Quick one before we start. This video is being sponsored by Revolut Business. If you've been meaning to build a financial buffer for your business, this feature might be exactly what you've been looking for. And there's a £200 welcome bonus available. More on that in just a little bit. So it's been a really challenging few weeks. Now, I want to take you back to Business Masterclass. This is my big penultimate event that I run for entrepreneurs and business owners. And at the end of day one, I just can't believe I'm saying this, my stepmom, the lady that brought me up from the age of 5, passed away. So I left Business Masterclass, got off stage. My PA tray said, James, you've got to go. You've got to get to Jill, your stepmom. And that's who my wife rang Tracy and said she hasn't got long to go. So I got on the train late at night from the West London over to Essex where we live, and I got to Jill just in time. I held her in my arms, I said thank you, and she just slipped away. And then it hit me like a big freight train that I'd got to get back to London and deliver day 2 of Business Masterclass. And then all of my other responsibilities of being an employer of 2,000 plus people, all of the businesses that need to keep on running. And it was at that point, for one of the only periods in my life where I thought, God, this is a bit naff being a business owner, that you have that responsibility and that responsibility doesn't leave you. You know, the VAT returns have to be done, the payroll has to be met, the business this, the business that, all has to happen. And so I went and did it. I delivered day 2 of Business Masterclass on stage all day. And I just blocked it out of my mind and focused on what I needed to do. And you know what? It's a little bit of a metaphor for the things that I do throughout my life. I think a lot of people look at this and go, wow, James, you've got such a big business. It must be so easy for you. And you know, I think of the little Jimmy Carr phrase here. People are always jealous of what you've got, but not jealous of how you got there. You know, I watched Jimmy in an interview that he'd done, and he said lots of stand-up comedians are jealous of what I've got, but they're not jealous of the hours after hours each day where I'm sitting at my desk thinking and writing new jokes, and the personal sacrifices that you make to go where you want to get to in life. And I was actually speaking to another business owner about this last week. You can have whatever you want in life, but there is an element of trade-off. You can have a big business like me, but there will be trade-offs. That could be trade-offs with friends, families, holidays, mental health, personal guarantees, borrowing millions of pounds, always being on, never really having time off. I do wonder for me, is time off, you know, is the end for me, death. I'm just so driven still to get stuff done. I can't help who I am. So you'll see some of the stuff that I'm up to in this video. Let's do it. This, ladies and gents, is a cardinal sin. Now, behind me is a big black barn. We'll put some B-roll footage over it. That used to be the entrance and exit shop of here at Marsh Farm. We turned it into a day nursery, and we want just a tiny little shop, so we're extending what I like to call a big shed. And this is going to sell some pocket money toys when people leave, and it'll be the entrance, going to have some big electric doors so people come in doing that. I've got some other developments at the other end of the farm. Come hither. How much does it cost? It's about 20 grand to get that all done. It's just a glorified shed. Why am I not spending hundreds of thousands of pounds on a big shop? Because I've been doing it for 20 years. And I know that retail is devilishly difficult to make money. Now, if we get 200,000 people here a year, maybe $250,000, maybe one day 300,000, we'll be lucky to get £1.20 a head on retail spend. Maybe even £2 a head if things are like Unicorn and Rainbow Land. So that's £350,000 maximum, best case scenario, that we'll get out of our big shed. Then you've got to pay for the product. Then you've got to pay for the staff. Be lucky if we make 40, 50 grand from running that shop, and then really all of that profit will be left in stock. But why am I doing it? Because people actually want it. They actually complain to us, oh, there's no shop on the way out. Kids want it as part of their day out. So that's why I'm doing it. What I am excited about is this. Now, I've been working on this for some months, in fact, probably 5 months. Lots of theme parks and visitor attractions are going bust at the moment. Very sad about that. It's mainly because of the horrific turnover taxes, VAT, business rates, increasing employers' national insurance. Loads of people are just saying, do you know what? I've given up on the bloody thing. Do you know what? They're doing it because they're sane. This bloke over here, Mr. Insanity, is carrying on investing. And I've noticed some of these theme parks have little gold dust in there, little nuggets of gold. And that nugget of gold is coming today. It's a giant carousel that was in America, then it was in Cornwall, and it's coming on here. And we've had Roy and his team, amazing team, put in this circle base, is that what it's called? And there's a giant carousel going on there. It's all been refurbished. You know, to do this brand new, it'd be about £500,000. And I've put that and another ride and another ride. I've got them all for about 150,000, £20,000 worth of groundworks. People are going to come here and go, oh my God, this is so good. It's part of my big business plan of changing the model here to attract 8, 9 and 10-year-olds, to be fun for the whole family, no longer just 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6-year-olds. And that widens my age group. Because you know what? My biggest lessons over the last 5 years in business, since owning Rossi and buying the Rossi Ice Cream Parlour, if you can appeal to a bigger audience, there's a good chance you're going to get more money. I think the best thing is having enough chimney pots around you, enough people that want to come buy your stuff. So having a wider age group is why I'm doing it. And it's going to look great. Wait till you see it finished. 2 months later, and you probably are thinking, has James Sinclair changed his career? Has he become a lollipop man? No, it's October and we're getting ready for Halloween season. So it's pumpkins and spooky fest all going on around the farm. But you can see the retail shed is now completed. Now on this area, we had all the hard stand in here already, because on here we used to have a big, giant, permanent marquee structure, and that shed, it's all the original part here, but just being refurbished to its max. And we wanted to put in all these big props. I love this big train, which I got on Facebook Marketplace, looking for bargains, me. We're gonna have a train going around the ceiling, and that big aeroplane's gonna hang down. So still a bit to do, but we're going. And do you know what? I said about £1.20, £1.50 spend a head earlier on in the shot. Oh no, sir. On Saturday or Sunday, I was tracking on our dashboard. I'm a big fan of dashboards in your business. We got 79p per head on retail. So it just shows it's really difficult. Everyone thinks, oh, you must be spending a £5 or a £10 in the shop. Well, no, actually, you got members. They don't spend anything. And that's why I've always been reticent to do this. But you know, people do like it. And I suppose 79p is better than no p. Let's go down the other end and see how the fun fair area is developing. Just look at her. This is a chance carousel from the United States of America. Let's look at all the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. A little SWOT analysis on this ride. The strength is its capacity. If you're running a visitor attraction, people don't want to queue up. So you can get 50 people on this all in one go. That's a very good thing. All ages can use it, but I had some trials and tribulations. If you watch the earlier shots, you'll know that I said it's around £20,000 to install it. In my dreams, ended up costing around £70,000 with extra groundworks, extra electricity, engineers, making sure that it all goes well. It kept on breaking. We couldn't work it out. We had to have this bit replaced, that bit replaced. So more. But hey, look at the size of it. This is a big carousel, gang, a large carousel. One of these new, I said £500,000. I've actually found out this alone, if you wanted to get this, you're probably looking at £700,000 to install this. That's a proper carousel. It's older than me, by the way. It's 41 years old, and all the signage, all done and printed in-house, of course it is. Come and have a look at this. I also bought this, which is a balloon ride. This is made by Zamperla. One of these around 200 grand, brand new. Bought this for 50,000. Probably spent another 20,000 getting it back on its heels. So much engineering work for all the safety checks to make sure this all happens. People are loving this as well. So that's 2 great new rides, included in your admission price if you do come here to Marsh Farm. Hey, yeah, people like it. Good value for money. That's what I want to do, value for money. And we're still developing loads around the farm, all in-house as well, which I'm very proud of. Right, come on, let's go. This is an upside down house, actually made like a house, but upside down. And that's going to go here. People are going to love that. A lot of photo opportunities. Yeah, that's the kind of guy I am, you know, carousels, balloon rides, and an upside down house. How do you explain that to your wife or bank manager? Well, we're going to. We're going back to the video in just a bit, but I just want to talk about this, savings. If you're saving money in your business, it usually means locking up your cash for months on end or earning nothing in return. Revolut Business is changing that. With their savings feature, you can earn up to 3.51% AER with interest paid daily, including weekends and bank holidays. Brilliant. It's a simple way to build a financial cushion you can actually access whenever you need it. There are no lock-ins, no minimum deposits, and no penalties for withdrawing, giving you full flexibility and instant access to your funds. It also auto-syncs with your accounting tools like Xero and Free Agent, so deposits, withdrawals, and returns are all tracked without adding any extra admin at all. Whether you're planning ahead, covering expenses, or just want your money working harder in the background, this is an easy win. If you're ready to take control of your business's finances, sign up to Revolut Business via the link in my bio or by scanning the QR code on screen. Do that before the 31st of December 2025. Put some money in your account and you'll receive a £200 welcome bonus. T's and C's do apply. Thanks to Revolut Business for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. Right, it's been a busy day today. I've just been up to Norfolk. Me and Chuds have been looking at another business to buy. But let me tell you now about the one that we bought in the city of Peterborough. We are in this quite smart office park just outside the city centre, and I've bought this business. This is WizKids Day Nursery. In fact, I bought it just over a year ago. It was in quite a lot of difficulty with our regulator Ofsted, so we closed the nursery. We're getting ready to rebrand it as Twizzletops Day Nursery. Now, unfortunately, because a little bit of a clerical muck-up between me and my team, we can't get inside, but we're going to make another video about how we bought this, why we bought another day nursery, and why they're such good businesses for us as a business. That's coming up, so keep an eye on the channel. Now you can see here that we've got to rebrand it. We've leased this building here on a long lease, but actually I bought the freehold of the surrounding land around it. And obviously I'd like to try and buy the freehold of the building one day as well. This is a whopper of a day nursery. In fact, I think it was registered for 160 spaces. It's over 2 floors. It's quite a new building. It's got lots of good parking and a huge, huge garden. It actually sits on around an acre plot. Maybe we can put a Google Earth image over there, Chuds. This is what you need to be doing when you're thinking about day nurseries. One of the big things that I've learned over the last nearly 2 decades of running these types of businesses, you need scale. The small day nurseries, the 30, 40 plus day nurseries, they're going bust all the time. They just don't have the economies of scale, because you need one good manager, one good deputy manager, whether you've got a 160 space nursery or a 30, 40 space day nursery. The regulations, the responsibility, the dealing with looking after life, because that's what you're doing when you have one of these businesses. It's all quite heavy things to hold on your shoulders, but it's going to be a corker. Look at it. Look at the size of it, Chuds. Lots of nice trees in the background. I'm very excited about this. So keep an eye on the channel as we show you the developments of this brand new business. Right, come on, let's go. Right then, gang, we're here at Business Masterclass. We're live in London for 2 days, learning all the best stuff that I've learned about business over the last 20 years, condensed into 2 days. And this is going to be full of entrepreneurs and business owners, go-getters that want to drive the UK economy forward. They want to find out how to buy businesses, buy commercial property, raise finance, find talent. They're already doing well. They just want to go from here to there, because we understand here in all the seminars that I run, what got us here won't get us there. So we want to work out what the there is. Little snippets for you coming up. I'm just going to find out where people have come from today. Who's got on a plane to get here today? Anyone got on a plane? Look at these guys. Where have you come from? Poland. Oh, sorry, crack off. I thought you were saying something rude. I thought, hey, we've only just started here. Germany. How did you find out about this? YouTube. I just flipping love YouTube. It gets me really excited. What about you, sir? Cyprus. You little tax evader, you. Okay. Anyone else? Where have you come from, sir? USA. Why? What, seeing me on YouTube? Duck. This is unbelievable. I'm going to have to... Oh. Thanks, mate. What part of America?
Near Chicago. Near Chicago. The Windy City. Half hour, that's made my day. Someone else put their hand up on it. Where are you from? Dubai. Another tax evader. Here's good. So what will not change in 10 years? And then lean into that stuff. You know, people will want price, range, convenience. They'll want good value. They'll want life experiences. They'll want great customer service. I think there's going to be a lust for real human stuff as well. There's another thing that I've been thinking about. Where's private equity and venture capital going to park their cash in the next 10 years? Because technology is becoming commoditized. I mean, there's a guy who was in the bar last night that's got a software company. I don't know if they're in the room. Yeah, was it you? Well, there was a couple of you, and I said, do you really think AI is going to commoditize your business? They went, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's someone in it. You know, there was no confirmation bias. You know, we're going to be in a situation in 5 years where you just say to AI, make me a set of software to run my coffee shop. And an hour and a half later, bish, bash, bosh, here is your software. It's going to be commoditized. So where's other people's money? Pension funds, private equity, where are they going to put their money? Well, maybe the traditional brick businesses that use clicks, so you've got bricks and clicks combined, are actually going to have a really good time. Those artisan ice cream shops, you know, maybe they're going to become something very valuable. Maybe hospitality and leisure is going to be a place that pension funds are going to put their cash. Care businesses, old age pension businesses. Medicine is going to get much cheaper to create. Do you know at the moment it costs around $1 billion to create a drug? And you're on like this massive decade plus journey to do it. So someone's got to fund $1 billion before they make it, just because the data takes so long to work out. AI is going to simplify that and give loads of scenarios that, I mean, so they're going to be commodities. Where's all this cash going to go? Because remember this, gang, remember this. The same amount of money exists in the world. It just goes in different pockets, or in economic downturns, it stays in those pockets for longer while people work out what they're going to do. And it's our job as entrepreneurs to go, hey, I've got some pain over here you can solve. Give me your money. Let's give Dave a big round of applause. What's he going to invest his £10,000 in? Obviously a new wardrobe. Okay, sorry, I can't help myself. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. There's different prizes on here, okay? You just have to choose one. What are you going with, Dave? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. You just have to choose one. Whichever one that you like, you can choose. One. Don't be, just go free choice. You made a free choice with that shirt, so just choose anyone you like. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with one.
You want to go with one? Okay, let's find out which one it is. Ladies and gents. Oh, you want a hug? Come here, Dave. Come here. Thanks, mate. Ladies and gents, thank you, Dave. Come take a seat. There you go. There we go. Okay, Dave. Sometimes we make the wrong choices in life. Okay, right. Let's move on then, gang. A little bit of fun. I like to break it down. There's a lot of learning in one go. So this here, I'm going to talk you through it, and I think you should implement it. I don't care if you're a solicitor or accountant, you can track your average customer value. You're an accountant. You've got £1 million turnover. You've got 10 customers. Hey presto, you've got average customer value of 100,000 per customer. What can we do to increase the average customer value year 2 by 5 or 10%? Big chunk of that will go to the bottom line. That's what my point is about tracking spend per head. So over here, we've got the dates down one side. We've got what we've taken in cash, what we've taken in card. This is one of my big aha moments. We've started taking a bit more cash again. Unbelievable. Cash has started increasing. Big sign of economic downturns. I think people, it's still nowhere near the amount card is, but people are spending a little bit more cash again. What we're taking in gift cards, mobiles, total cashing up, little cash variance there. No, it's way too high. I don't know why it says that, but well, see, this is why we have dashboards. How many transactions we're doing each day. What's our average transactional value? You see, I've got that down here. Wastage, we've removed that. What we're spending on hours. This is disgustingly high, 38%. So I can see what we're doing here, what the weather's like. Everyone can understand it. It comes out very, very powerful thing to do. This is where labour costs have changed. You go back 5 years ago, you'd be running this place on 25% labour to turnover ratio. Now, because of Rachel Thieves and the previous government, it's more like 38%. What do? You stop investing, don't you? Because you have to. And do you know, it's not that you discouraged paying the staff the hourly rate, it's the cost of employment after the staff. All these, I'll get on my side, all these turnover taxes. Meanwhile, they understand we've got to tax profit, not revenue.
Hope you're enjoying this day in the life so far. You're wondering why I'm looking like I've just come back from Ascot. Well, I thought I'd dress up well for some content creators called Insane Founder. They sent a team of 3 to film me and talk about all of my businesses. We're going to the Blue Boar later. You're going to see some BTS stuff, and they put it out on their platforms. I always do stuff like this. If I know it's going to be well produced and we can repurpose the content, I find that a very good, effective use of my time. Content is king. It helps you get warm leads into your business. It helps you on recruitment and find opportunities, especially when people are going to redistribute it on a new audience. So that's why I see it as a very good use of my time. It's been a little pet project of mine. This is going to be the queuing. This will be the exit. Flower beds there. And what's going to happen is, you see, we're building these huts. They're going to have scenes for the kids to see on the journey. And this is all going to be themed and have like chuckly music inside. And there's going to be jokes on the way round. You see these, there's going to be a joke, and then an answer, joke, and then an answer.
Are you big on jokes?
Oh, I love jokes, yeah.
Tell me one.
I was just thinking of, do you know what's close to my heart right now?
What?
My left lung. She loves it. She gets it. So I know what good and great looks like in this space. Just have to fund it and build a team around me to help make that happen. I don't want to take on investors. I don't want private equity, venture capital, which could speed the process up for me. You know, I'd much rather do it on my own, a little bit slower with bank support. But, you know, you borrow money from, I do borrow millions of pounds, tens of millions now. When people come to our day nurseries, when kids come to our holiday camps, I want them to have good memories of us. That's why I bought Cambo when I went there as a kid. You know, I want to have the best holiday camps for kids in this country. That's the vision, you know, the best holiday camps for kids in the world, the best day nurseries, the best farm attraction. You know, you're going for a day out here and you're like, this is good. I want to tell all my friends about it. It felt really good. You know, like you see a good comedian. I can't remember any of the jokes, but it was bloody funny. You know, and I want that. Do you want to see some of the rooms?
Yeah, come on, see.
Come on then, let's do that. When we buy something, do something new, I do get heavily involved just to get the thing going.
So as a listed building, what are the things that you have to get approved?
You know, you get to know like the windows are protected, you know, so you can't just go to UPVC, you know, they are protected windows. And anyone that would buy something like this wants to protect it anyway. You know, you like the heritage, you love the heritage, I love the heritage, and I want to be a good custodian of it. You know, you never really own it, you just look after it for the next generation. And that's the philosophy that you should have when you do these things.
It lives longer than us.
Absolutely, baby. We've still got more to do, you know, we're just scratching the surface, but I have to fund so much in my organisation. I'm funding an ice cream company, funding Marsh Farm, we're doing loads of development there, so I have to choose where to put the cash flow as I'm going around all our businesses. There's a good little tip for business owners and entrepreneurs: find out what banks like to lend to. Banks don't like lending money on hotels. They're just not keen on hotels. They're very hard to get mortgages and funding on them unless they're big, established, historical, profitable, and usually in city centres. So, for example, you know, one of the big banks, most of them don't want to fund hotels with less than 30 rooms. And so that's why we've been going along and doing all of this.
How many rooms do you have now?
Well, we will have, by the time we're finished, 40, by the time I've finished. And we've got 21 in operation, but then this would be 22. Then there's, you know, when the rest goes in, and we'll get it to the magic 40. Because I think that's a good habit for entrepreneurs and business owners. If you're building to sell, even if you have no intention of selling. So what would that look like? Well, it's, you know, get it to, you know, a good few 100,000 profit per location, and have a little cluster of hotels, 3 or 4 together with a senior management team, so that, you know, that's ready for a bigger entity to buy. But we probably wouldn't sell them, but we're just having that philosophy, because that makes you build something better.